I'm not worrying about validation from other people because I'm not making decisions for other people. Now guys, take this from a girl who has been in debt, £20,000 worth of debt in the past. I got in a worse financial situation by having more money, so please don't be fooled into thinking that just earning more is going to solve your problems. Hello guys, welcome to or welcome back to this channel. If you are new here, then welcome, and if you are returning, then thank you so much. Today's video is one that I am so grateful that I'm able to film, because I used to be lazy, unmotivated, didn't really feel like I was worth a lot. I was financially unstable. I made a lot of impulsive bad choices, and I'm just so glad that I get to make this video from such a different place. And maybe some of it has something to do with maturity. I am now 27 and I feel like I've had a lot of life lessons, mistakes, experiences that will have also played a part to lead me here today. But I just wanted to share a lot of the lessons and some key ways in which I was really able to level up my life and I guess regain my power. I'm somebody that definitely gave my power away to things, to people, to situations, to opinions, and definitely lost myself in that process. And I've been spending probably the past 2.5 years really trying to build that back up for myself. So grab a brew, grab a notebook if you want, and we're going to dive into some of the main ways that I leveled up my life to regain my power and start to become the woman of my dreams. Now, number one is quite a big one, and I stopped over consuming in trends. Now, I used to be that girl that if something was trending, I felt like I needed it to stay relevant, whether it was a water bottle, an outfit style, something that came into fashion. I felt like it was the only way to maybe be relevant or fit in or feel like I had what I needed to be successful, because that's what everybody else had. Let me tell you, the best thing you can do is stop over consuming, okay? In a world where we are full of everybody selling us things on TikTok, on Instagram, as an influencer myself, I do sometimes feed into that because I will promote you guys products that I love, but really finding what works for you. A few examples of this, and one that happened really recently, was I was on the hunt for a perfume and I knew of a few trending perfumes that everybody said were amazing, and I went with them in mind when I went to Harrods. And yeah, I went to the Loewe stand, I smelled a perfume and I instantly fell in love with it. And there was a little voice in my head that was like, yeah, but no one even knows what that is. And I literally had to catch myself and be like, Jess, what matters is that you like it. Like, you should be buying things that you love and things for you that make you feel good, not things that just because everybody else has validated them and said that they're great, that you now feel like you need them in your life. And I feel like a lot of us can get really sucked into this trap of buying into trends, which also can lead to poor financial management and also really wasteful habits, because things go out of trend just as fast as they come in. Look at the Jacquemus bag, look at the Louis Vuitton, is it called the something pochette, where it has like the coin pouch here, it has the 2 pouches at the bottom, the crossbody Prada bags, I bought into one of them. There's just so many things that come in and out of trends where I just think if you try and keep up with it, you're going to exhaust yourself, and also you're never actually really buying things for you. I always find when I buy into a trend, there's probably about 10% of those purchases is because I actually really like them, and the rest is probably because I like them on somebody else, or somebody else has said that it's a great thing and I'm seeing everybody else wearing it or using it or having this thing, and then I think that I need it. And the best thing you can do, especially from a peace of mind perspective, is actually find things that you like, that work for you, and the things that you want to buy into. Because chances are it's going to have, number one, more longevity because you've bought it because you like it. And it actually is for you. Like, you're regaining your power and trusting your own opinion and validation of an item or a smell or whatever it might be. Finding things that work for you honestly helps level up your life, because you start doing things for you. And when I kind of look back over the past maybe 5 years, there's been so many things I've just done because it fits with Instagram, it fits with social media. I can post it on my story and be part of that craze or that trend and that community, and I've just found so much power and peace in just withdrawing and actually being able to assess, like, what do I actually like, what do I actually want, what works for me. And it's really, really helped me level up. It's stopped me over consuming, it's stopped me overspending, it's stopped me just buying things for the sake of it or because I think it's gonna make me feel a type of way. And it's allowed me to get a lot of my power back. And I feel like a lot of us do this, where we see things, they're trending, maybe we think, oh, that looks cool, or maybe you're gonna feel a type of way if you buy that product or buy into that trend. And some things, don't get me wrong, that trend I love. I am wearing a pair of UGG boots right now, and I wouldn't have bought them if I didn't see people buying them again. And I'm probably never going to stop buying them now. Even if they go out of trend, I love my UGG boots so much. And I think it is just really being able to, I guess, assess what you actually like, what works for you, what you want, and going with that, rather than just buying into what everybody else tells you is cool. Because that kind of sucks. Like, we just kind of get rid of the individuality and the beauty of individual like personality, individual preferences, and I just feel like we all end up becoming a clone of each other. It's not for me. It's not for me anymore, and I really feel like I'm starting to level up. Now I'm withdrawing a little bit, and don't get me wrong, part of it does come with being an influencer. I think you kind of have to be on the trends, but that's not really who I want to be. And there's some trends I love, there's some trends I hate, and I will never buy into. It's really helped me level up and just make better decisions that work for me. The second way is becoming more mature with money. Now guys, take this from a girl who has been in debt, £20,000 worth of debt in the past through various different mistakes, to now having over £20,000 in savings, in investments. I now have disposable income. I'm not making the same mistakes that I used to because I got mature with money. And whilst I'm no expert, I feel like if anybody maybe is where I was with buying things on Klarna, buying things and worrying about them later, financing everything, getting credit cards, thinking that you're only going to spend a little bit and then maxing them out, take it from me. I am your big sister in this situation, okay? Number one, credit cards are great to build your credit score. They are not great for spending money that you do not have. Okay, so if you're getting a credit card with the view of it's getting paid every single month, the direct debit is set off just to wipe it every single month, fair enough. It's going to build your credit score, and there's great ways to benefit financially as well from credit cards such as Amex's, and getting points for flights, all that kind of stuff is great. But if you are using credit options, financing options, Klarna, buy now, pay later, to fund something that you cannot afford right now, do not do it. It is my best advice, because it just leads to that worry about it later. That later comes, and when it comes, it's going to come with a vengeance because you've just put it off, okay? Now, I really am trying to live by the rule of if you cannot afford to buy it 2 or 3 times over, don't buy it at all. And it stops you maxing out your paycheck to try and fund things in your life that you cannot afford in the first place. And again, a lot of this can come from feeling like we need something, especially when things are trend-led. We feel like we need them now, so we want to buy them now and worry about it later. Do not do this. It is my best advice as somebody who has got themselves in a little bit of a financial pickle. It's taken me a long time to learn from my mistakes, and the way that I view money now is so different. Now I've actually been able to get in a good place with money, and I'm speaking as somebody that has had £30,000 months in business, who had multiple 7,000, 8,000 months in a row, which is so much more than my salary ever was. My salary used to be about £2,000 a month. I got in a worse financial situation by having more money, so please don't be fooled into thinking that just earning more is going to solve your problems. You have to sort your money management out at the root. And there's a really powerful phrase that says, if you don't know how to manage £10, you're not going to know how to manage 10,000. It's so true. The basic principle is the same whether it's £1 or £1,000,000. If you have a poor financial mindset and money management, it doesn't matter how much you earn. It's just gonna increase or amplify however you currently deal with money. It's just the best way that I've leveled up my life, is viewing it from such a more mature perspective, and actually making sure that my money is making money for me. I'm using it to reinvest in my business. I'm creating business models that make me more money. I have made some decisions that some people might find not the best financially, which is taking myself off the property ladder, which I did this year. But that is something that I personally wanted to do for me. And I personally don't believe that the only way to make good money is to have it in property. Although it did make me money, Okay, it did. I just want to preface that. You know, I don't think that's the only way. And I'm not putting myself under a lot of pressure to get myself back on the property ladder right now. One thing I will say is leveling up your money mindset and your money management is one of the best things that you can ever do. And there's a few basic things that you can live by, such as splitting out your money, making sure that you've got money going into savings every single month. Some people actually say that if you put your money into savings first and you just get rid of it, that it actually encourages you to then make more money, to then obviously make sure that you're bringing it in for bills, etc. I don't fully disagree with it, but I do think you don't want to be putting yourself in a situation where you might risk your bills not actually going out. So it's up to you how you want to do it. I'm not a financial expert, but at least having some sort of saving structure. Also looking at things like your rent. Now, I nearly again made a poor financial decision when I sold my house, and I looked at renting, which was going to be over 30% of my monthly income. I would actually say it was just around 30, maybe just above 30%, but it just didn't make financial sense for me to do that, and it should not be eating into more of that. Now, I know this isn't possible for everybody, it depends where you live, but I think even just looking at your bills and looking at what percentage everything is eating out of your monthly income, just look at that as a basis, see what you can save, what you can cut down on, maybe how you can increase that money as well. I'm really big on trying to do things that can make more money for you, but I know not everybody is in that position, and I'm speaking as an ex-corporate girly who now has her own business where I do have the power to make as much money as I want every single month. It obviously is a little bit different in the corporate world when you're on like a static salary, but again, I would be looking at things like pay rises. They say that you should move jobs roughly every 2 years to make sure that you're maximizing your pay increase. And I think there's actually an article that says that if you stay in a job longer than 2 years or in a company, you actually get paid something like 40-50% less than those who move companies. It's a crazy stat. I think it might have been Forbes that did the article. I think I saw it on Tam Core's video, and that just baffled me. Like, there are so many ways that you can still increase it and look at opportunities to increase it, but again, the management and the fundamental management is something you have to get a hold of. And a few tips that I could give anybody is do not use Klarna or buy now pay later. It might seem like a good idea, and it is if maybe you're buying a lot of outfits and maybe you might be sending a lot back, so you don't want the money to come out and come back into your account, but it is a dangerous territory. Buying on anything like that, and ask yourself why you're doing it. Is it because you don't have the money to do it right now? Okay, because the problem with financing and paying things monthly or paying things on buy now pay later is it just increases your monthly outgoings, and sometimes then people don't factor that into their budget and it's extra money that's just coming out every single month. Just get disciplined with yourself. And I also ask myself, will I still want this in 30 days? Or is this an impulsive buy that I've just seen somebody get and I want it now because I think it's going to make me feel a type of way? My best advice is just get a handle on your finances. Please do. Look at savings, look at investments that you can make, look at how you can increase your income if maybe it's not where you want to be, and how you can free up some disposable income every month, just to make sure that you can live a happy life full of choices. I think I got to a situation where my money, I was constantly overspending and trying to keep up or completely live beyond my means, that I was always catching up with it, and I was just on a never-ending treadmill, because once you start, it's hard to get off that treadmill without completely stripping it back. So yeah, I'd say money management is a huge thing, and it's helped me level up so much by having a much more mature outlook on money. I'm really focused on making sure that I'm future-proofing my money. I'm making sure I've got money for rainy day, emergencies. I used to be in a position where when I got a chip in my windscreen, I had to get a credit card to put that on my credit card in the past. Do not do that. Like, please, if you're even in a situation similar to me, look at your debt, look at how you can pay it off. There's so many different methods where you start with the highest interest first, you start chipping away at that. Please just get a handle on your finances, because I truly believe that finances is something that when it's going good and when you've got money, you don't really have to think about it. But when it's not going great, it consumes you so much and it's on your mind all the time. And this is not a place that we want to be. Another way that I leveled up was becoming an opportunist rather than being lazy and making excuses. Now, I used to be that person that could find 100 different excuses why not to do something that I knew my higher self would thank me for. And this has taken a lot of mindset work and really getting clear on who I want to be. making sure that I understand the habits that comes with that, and again, visualizing it every single day, making sure it's something that I aspire to be like and it actually feels aligned. Being able to find opportunities to do things to support me to get where I want to go rather than keeping me where I am is something that's changed completely. So I used to be pretty lazy. Like I said, I knew I needed to go to the gym, but I would find 1,000,001 reasons why not to. I knew that I needed to create content every single day in order to grow my business and grow my presence. Yet I would find reasons not to, or excuses not to do it. I completely flipped my mindset to become more of an opportunist. Now, what I mean by that is I will find opportunity with all of the time that I get. So even if I arrive somewhere early, let's say it's 5 or 10 minutes early, I will get my phone out and I will film a story or a TikTok or a reel. The old me would have been like, I've only got 10 minutes, there's no point, I'll just sit and scroll on my phone. Whereas now I've completely flipped my mindset, where if I've got that 5 or 10 minutes spare, I will literally be like, right, what can I post? Because I think one of the reasons why we procrastinate a lot and why we can find excuses is either we don't believe in where we're going or the end result, we don't actually believe it's possible for us, or we just simply don't know what to do, so then we just shut down and procrastinate. And one thing that's really, really helped me is every single morning having a morning routine where I align to my higher self. I align to who I want to be, how she shows up, what she does, different offers that are going on in my business as well. Then things are constantly running through my mind. So even if I do have a quick 5 minutes, I know what to talk about. I've got so many things running through my mind that I can talk about. And it's the same even with things like podcasts, personal development. I could have been that person that said, I don't have time for that. But instead, when I was working a full-time job and building my business, I decided to listen to podcasts when I was in the car or in the shower. I listened to all of the training videos that I needed to in the car or in the shower. I did voice notes on my commute or any phone calls that I needed to do, and I doubled up my time where I could. Because I think the number one excuse that I hear a lot of people that say they want to achieve something, it comes down to either lack of discipline or they say it's the lack of time. When actually, in my opinion, it's just lack of priority and finding ways to make it work. I truly believe that there's always a way to make things work if you want it bad enough. And a prime example of this is today, my friend is on a styled shoot and she asked if I wanted to go. And I am going to go after this video. But I've used this time whilst I'm on my own. I've filmed a YouTube video, I've gone live on Instagram, I've done talking stories, I've done TikToks, I've done reels, I've done talking videos, I've hosted a masterclass. Because I've had this time on my own in a hotel room with great lighting, I've just gone for it. And rather than just being sat watching my friend, as much as I really love supporting her and I'm gonna go after this, I would have been in an environment where I was going to put myself in a situation where I couldn't film because there were people taking photos of things, and it would have been weird me just getting a YouTube video out and getting my camera out. It would also have disrupted them as well when they're getting video content. So I decided to hang back and get a taxi. Yeah, it might cost me £10 in a taxi, but I've now ticked off all of my to-do list, and by the time I get there, where I do maybe need to be quiet, I can put my AirPods in and edit this video. And again, it's just little ways where you can find opportunity in things that are in front of you. And there is one simple mindset shift with this that it really hit me when I heard it, and it was about having an empowered mindset or a defeatist mindset. Now, an empowered mindset is you make a choice and you say, I'm gonna do it, and then you find the ways to go and do it. A defeatist mindset is you know you want to do that thing, however, you've already kind of given yourself an excuse or an out in case you don't hit it. So let's say that you wanted to build a business. Let's say you wanted to start a jewelry business. You kind of already have it in the back of your head that everybody's doing a jewelry business and it was never going to work anyway because of this, that, and the other. If you already go into something with the idea that you can be defeated in it or it might not work out, imagine how you're going to show up. You're not going to feel that confident. You're not even really believing it's that possible because you've already given yourself excuses. Whereas when you can flip it and you make a choice, I am going to work every day to make this happen. I'm going to show up. I'm going to commit to making this work. Imagine how much better you are aligned to the action that you're doing because you actually believe that it's possible for you. And this is why I'm so big on making people sit and really understand whether they're in alignment and whether they truly believe it's possible for them. Because if you don't, imagine how you're going to show up. And with that being said, I truly believe if you're putting something on your vision board, the reason you're putting it on there is because you know it's possible. The future version of you already has that thing, okay? You maybe just don't have it yet. And I truly believe that you need to show up with that mindset of, I'm gonna make it work, it's gonna happen for me. Because you're going to show up 10 times better than somebody who kind of already has it in their head that they've got an excuse in case. Another example of this is, if you want to go to the gym after work, you pack your gym stuff, you take it in the car, you get it ready the night before, and you get prepared. But then maybe you get to work and you've kind of got your gym bag in the car, but you still find an excuse and you're like, well, I was never really going to have time anyway. Like, I did try, like I brought my stuff, but I was never really going to have time for it anyway. But you could have had time for it if you prioritized. Does that make sense? Like, you could have if you prioritized. And I really believe that me just flipping that mindset to becoming more of like an opportunist, and again, more productive with my time, has helped me so much. And it's stopped me being lazy and finding excuses of 10 reasons why I can't do that, and then finding all the reasons why I can. Another one is spending more time with me. Now, this is one really close to my heart, and it's a really personal journey that I'm on right now. After going through a breakup with somebody that there were no flaws other than we both just needed to be on a little bit of a personal journey and just find what works for us. And that is one of the hardest decisions I think both of us made, but we needed to do it. And I think it's really made me realize how important it is to make sure you prioritize the relationship with yourself. It's gonna help you level up. It's gonna allow you to fall in love with you, spend more time with you, and also understand what you actually want. I think so many of us go through life thinking that we know what we want, and actually it's a projection of everybody around us telling us what is good, what we should do, what the best thing to do is, listening to so many opinions, listening to social media, and kind of just blindly living a life based on everybody else's view of the world and their opinions and their priorities. And actually, when you do just claw some time back for yourself to spend that time with you, you actually realize what you want and what's really important to you. Because for so long, I bought my house, I stayed in my corporate job, I got a good car, I did all the things that you were meant to do. And it actually took me a long time to realize that none of that was aligned to me. Not at this point in my life anyway. I know that I will buy a house again, but I didn't want to stay in the location that I did. It didn't work out from a rental perspective to then rent it out. I rushed to just get myself on the property ladder. I stayed at my corporate job where I didn't feel fulfilled because everybody told me that was the right thing to do. And now I'm here, not with my house, not in my job, and I have a business that I love more than anything in the world. I am so much more happy spending my morning looking at the most gorgeous view. Look at this view. On a Monday, whereas before I would have been sat at work doing a sales call on a Monday morning, feeling stressed on a Sunday night, not feeling fulfilled because everybody tells me that's the right thing to do. It's a safe salary, it's a stable job, and I didn't learn to listen to myself for a very long time. And there have been mistakes that I've made with that. There have been mistakes, but at least I know that I made them because I followed my gut, I followed my intuition, and I tried. And I truly believe that a life anyway is better filled with oh wells than what ifs, because it means that you still tried rather than just being scared to take the risks. But it is so important to spend time with you and really work on nurturing the relationship that you have with yourself, because it will allow you to make so many better decisions. This time on my own right now might actually make me realize that the person that I've been committed to for 2+ years actually doesn't align with the person who I desire, because I've taken time to understand exactly what Jessica needs, exactly what she wants and what she deserves. And I think that is why solo time is so important. Learning how to solo date, learning how to give yourself everything that you desire, so then you're never relying on anybody else to give you it. And then you're not impressed just because a man takes you out for dinner. You're not just impressed because he does the basic things. You actually start to fall in love with people because of who they are at the core, not what they can do for you. Because you know that you can do it all for yourself. And there's so many things wider than that as well. It's not even just about dating. It's about finding true happiness with you and not doing what I did, which was blindly live a life based on just what everybody else wanted to do. I used to be that go with the flow person that if my friend wanted to do something, I always was going to be the person that said yes. And it wasn't because I was laid back and I was up for anything. It was because I was never actually clear on what I wanted to do. I was never ever clear on what I would prefer to do in that situation or what I would rather do, because I didn't spend enough time with myself to learn who I actually was. And that is honestly one of the best, probably one of the best tips out of this whole video, because it is going to align with all the other tips that I've given you, is you have to learn what you desire. And you have to learn what you really want rather than what you think you should want or the things that you think you should do. And this is where really spending time with yourself is going to allow you just that time for like self-exploration. And it's so crazy how much we spend our life doing things for other people and because other people want to do them, when actually when you deep it, we're the only person that we are guaranteed to spend the rest of our lives with. Yet we spend so much time and place so much focus on everybody else. And I truly believe that spending more time with yourself allows you to increase your boundaries, be more clearer on your priorities, operate from a more aligned place, which means you're going to feel more happier and fulfilled. And now I have peace of mind. I'm not worrying about validation from other people because I'm not making decisions for other people. I'm making decisions for me. So I think I've probably been talking quite a lot in this video, but the main points are not buying into trends and just buying into what everybody else tells you that you should have. Learning how to manage your money and actually be mature with it, because trust me, you guys will be able to come from such a better place financially and also mindset wise, because money is really one of them things that when it's going great, you don't tend to think about it too much. When it's going bad, it consumes you every single day. It's like a cloud following you of anxiety. Number 3 is changing from maybe finding excuses, admitting defeat, maybe not actually showing up and having that discipline, to becoming an opportunist and somebody who actually goes out and gets what they want. And then the last one is learning to spend more time with yourself and learning who you actually are at the core and who you desire to be, what you desire to have. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a huge thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe before you leave if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next video.